the best radio station, the Black Hot Friend Network, with Let's Pop with Ewoton. Another day to basically be grateful. It's always a great time to be alive here. Remember, you can always download our app on Google. So, but today I have a beautiful partner. They're with us. Last week we had our time was really short, but we get the time to do it all over again. Before I start, I'll let you introduce yourself and basically get into the conversation in regards to what's happening. But thank you guys for joining us live on YouTube and TikTok and also on the network. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember to also stream on www.blackhotfriendnetwork.com. As I always say, you are the change in the sea in the world, and the topic of the day is redefining Africans on Let's Walk with Ewoton. Alrighty, welcome guys. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Yeah, feeling awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a blast, always a blast to be here.
Right.
But I want Jackie to start.
Oh, ladies first.
Ladies first.
Okay.
Oh, hi. Good afternoon. Good morning, wherever you're watching us from. My name is Jackie.
YouTube over there, TikTok over there.
Oh, hi,
Yeah.
hi guys.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Jackie Alosi. I am a producer. I am a director. Yeah, and a manager to DJ Jeng.
Hey.
So karibuni. Let's have a blast.
Let's have a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hi, my name is DJ Jeng. What do I do? What do I do?
You're a DJ.
Really?
I think.
You're asking the manager.
Apart from DJ.
What do I do?
You're a lawyer.
No, they're not supposed to know that.
You're Mr. Good
He's a
Vibes.
lawyer?
Yes, he is.
Oh my god, you didn't talk about that ever. Why?
Yeah. Because
You have to give past the crumbs, call it.
Yes. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
But I think I'm more passionate
Did I
about things.
snitch?
That's alright.
Did I snitch
It's
on
alright.
him?
You did. You thought I knew?
Snitched a little
I
bit.
thought you knew.
It actually makes sense in regards to his level of knowledge about
Come
things.
on, don't be like that.
I'm telling the truth.
No, it's normal stuff.
I'm not hyping you.
Everybody can.
That's why you're here.
Everybody can know this stuff.
Not really, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, okay. I'm a DJ.
Yeah.
Started out DJing. Now that I've mentioned the low part, I started out DJing in my second year in law school
Wow.
at the University of
No
Nairobi.
way.
And
What
yeah.
made that happen?
My friend, my best friend was like, yo, we had a house party
Okay.
and we were playing DJ mixes, and he goes like, yo, bro, what's wrong with you? Why can't you just learn to DJ? So I learned.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So just played around with a couple of softwares, became really good at it.
Yeah.
Started getting some professional gigs,
Right.
and then started touring the entire country.
Yeah.
Did some stints with different corporate entities.
Yeah.
Then I started organizing my own events. Well, I don't know where is that going right now. It's going, it's going really well.
Really?
Yeah, it's going really well.
What
So-
happened to the lower career first?
that's interesting. Always wanted to be a lawyer ever since I was a kid.
Okay.
But more so because that sounded like the most easiest thing to do, and then passing exams wasn't really a problem, so
Right.
that was easy.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to help people from where I came from.
Yeah.
So well, qualified to university, but finished my studies and then started practicing law. Actually,
Okay.
started a law firm with a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also a DJ.
Amazing.
So, yeah, so we DJ in the
Yeah.
weekends and basically just lawyers in suits during the
I
week.
wouldn't
It
tell
doesn't make
if you,
sense.
if you didn't mention that. And I think, guys, I met DJ Jang. He's always active on our TikTok.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we're basically like, this guy has amazing comments. Just basically, let's put him on live. And that's how that's how I met.
The hype side of
You
him.
meet the hype side of the academic side.
The academic side, because you're always having this conversation in the morning with
Yes.
Shmani about relationship, Africa, and you always put in a comment and you're like,
Yeah.
you wanna come on live? That's how we actually met.
Oh,
And that's how you
awesome.
came to the studio.
There's a
Awesome.
hype side that is just madness.
Right.
Yeah, these are just two alter egos. When
Yeah.
I'm on hype mode, you wouldn't
Crazy.
crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to see that if you have the chance. But guys, that's DJ Jang and Jackie. Panel, we're talking about redefining Africa, and basically we talk about everything to do with that in regards to what's happening here in Kenya, Nigeria, about our identity as Africans and how that has affected us as Africans and how we see the rest of the world, and also how we redefine ourselves. And basically, I think we've gone through that experience, also with friends, people that we know, and also the fact that a lot of knowledge has been hidden away from us as Africans, and the fact that basically Africa is like the most wealthiest continent of all time, which a lot of Africans do not know that, but now I believe a lot of youths are basically woke to understand that, and that's why we're pushing the protest, because people understand we're being controlled.
Yeah.
We're not the one, the leaders who are there are not the ones who are basically leading us. You know, so that, thank you so much. Thank you for availing yourself. Really appreciate it. Thank you, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you all were here last week, I was like, okay, really, I was waiting for you to say like, we wouldn't make it this week, but
No.
I'm glad you all are here.
Yeah. We don't turn down important stuff.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Alright, I love starting up with a video, motivational video from Dr. Arikana Chiwambori. She always has something motivating to say about Africans and Africa. So I'll share that video and then we can basically continue from there. Alrighty.
Tea from Switzerland. Have you seen the large coffee fields in Switzerland? Good portion of that is coming from our beloved continent. Why are these countries allowed to get away with relabeling African products as their own? It's all by design. And what has been done to this tree to take it to where we have the Africa that is no longer the center of the world. When we understand what has been done to Africa, it makes it easier for us to strategize on how we can undo the damage, the destruction that has befallen our motherland, the African tree of life. I think it's clear that we understand for this tree to have issues. The issues are either issues above the ground, which is what they have mostly wanted us to focus on, versus issues below the ground, which are really the pivotal issues, the issues that they strategized to classify, the issues, the reasons why this tree of life that is Africa is ailing. And I'm going to divide the issues, problems above the root, above the ground, and issues that are making this tree ail that are below the ground, issues of the root. Quite often, we are focusing on the issues above the root, issues above the ground, issues like the leaves and the flowers and the fruits and the branches that are falling off one season after another. Those issues like leadership, issues like corruption, issues like poor access to healthcare, poor education, poor infrastructure. Those are all issues above the ground. They come and they go. We change leaders every day in Africa. But tell me one African country that changed a leader and things changed. We might see some improvement, but fundamentally, nothing changes. This was all by design. Where we are lacking in our understanding of our Africa is the issues below the ground, the issues of the root, the issues that were predetermined by those who came to colonize Africa, those who came.
I believe, thanks to Arikana, she always talks about the truth about everything to do with Africa. And she said, I think I mentioned it last week, she said, I've been following her, a 3-year video that she kind of like did. She said the day Africa will be revolutionized is the day that everybody will come together to fight for one common goal. And she said it's going to start with the youth. And it happened. Yeah. The protest that is going on, and also it's basically spiral-led to Nigeria and Ugandans, which I hope they're coming back to it. But it's amazing, a lot of people have spoken about revolution in Africa, and start with the youth. And she's one of the ladies who said that. This is a video that she spoke about in a conference like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, you know. So it's amazing that she talked the fact that Africans are colonized in the mind in regards to the colonizers coming in, telling us about they're superior, they civilized us, you know, which most people believe that. And we see the white people as gods in everything they say we go by. The fact that making Africa be kind of shredded is basically benefiting their own country. I don't know what's your take on that in regards to Africa being colonized in the mind, that we're inferior, that we're not able, that we should depend on other foreign countries for our countries to be better. And the truth is, Africa actually doesn't need any help. We have everything here. to basically redefine Africa again? Yeah.
I think starting from, maybe let's discuss about what is happening in our country.
Okay, sure.
In the older generations, you were not there, maybe like when the first president was there,
Yeah.
Kenyatta.
Yeah.
During that period, I think there was that fear of people coming out. So it was only like one person commanding everything and all of you had to follow.
Okay.
Transitioning from that now to Moi. Moi was president for like 24 years.
Yeah.
All he
That's a
did
lot.
was use money and
Yeah.
power
Yeah.
to scare everyone. If you had the courage to talk,
Mm-hmm.
you disappeared.
Right.
He didn't want anything to talk just above him. He was
Mhm.
the command.
Yeah.
All of you down. So everyone was scared. People are even being fired by a radio.
Right.
You are heading to work and you just say your name, Jackie, Minister of
By a radio.
Education, you're fired.
Right.
There's nothing you could do. That was it. And you couldn't even go and appeal anywhere. That is transitioning. Now coming to Uhuru, it was still
Yeah.
the same.
Mhm.
People were still scared. They didn't know how to push. We didn't have avenues for us to fight.
Right.
Yes, there were these arms of government and everything. We had these leaders coming to us telling they're representing us, but at the end of the day, they are not representing us. We have
Right.
seen they are out there for themselves.
For
Once
sure.
they go in, they'll just go there, find their own ways, get wealthy, but never come back to the ground.
Yeah.
The only time we see them on the ground is only when they need our votes, but
That's
not when
true.
they want to help us.
Yeah.
Why are we then pushing you guys to go there if you can't represent us? You get.
Correct.
Now moving forward now to
Mhm.
Ruto's time. During I skipped Kibaki before
Yeah,
Uhuru.
yeah.
There was also
Yes,
Kibaki.
mhm.
Kibaki came with changes. He was an economist. He
Yeah.
made developments. He made education free.
Mhm.
By him making education free, that means that many people were going back to school. So
True.
many people are educated.
Yeah.
Now they have started thinking outside the box. They are
Mhm.
using their own minds. Coming to Uhuru, we started seeing like there was a bit of tension here and there. But now during Ruto, it has become worse. People are not scared. The people who
Right.
got the free education, now they have the power to speak.
Right.
You don't fear now. You want
Yeah.
to come out. You want to have a better Kenya.
Express
They have
yourself.
oppressed many people for so long.
Mhm.
Look at these people's backs. They are billionaires. They are millionaires.
Yes.
Why are you employing billionaire hustlers?
So the
There are
covenants
people,
going on? Yeah.
people each and every day are graduating from institutions,
Mm.
but where are they?
That's
At home.
Mhm.
They can't get any jobs. It's just who do you know
mhm.
in this
Yeah, it's
organization?
true.
Organization. If you
Yeah.
don't know anyone, then you are a nobody.
Mhm.
Then for how long will you be nobodies? You also want
Right.
to be somewhere.
And guys are so educated.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's time these leaders start to like embrace the change.
Yeah.
Accept we are moving. It's not the old days.
Accept.
We are accept. Yeah, accept. Change is inevitable. Change is
Yeah.
painful,
Mhm.
but we are moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If they
Well,
don't
do you
hit to
think
it,
they want to leave though? They don't want to.
they don't want to leave.
Yeah.
But I think right now they are scared. If they're not scared, then they must be fools.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all.
Thank you for that.
All right.
Yeah.
My take on the kind of Africa
Mhm.
that I see.
Okay.
What I would like to say is, it's disheartening. When you're growing up as an African, one of the things that you're told is probably you're not good enough.
Facts.
And on a lot of levels.
Mhm.
For example, when you have an African male
Okay.
and you're expected to compete in the workplace, one of the things that is expected of you is you have to be able to succeed.
Okay.
That success is demanded of you from a very, very young age. In fact, one of the reasons why there's a lot of cases of suicide amongst males
Mhm.
is because of the kind of societal pressure that is put on us. So now, and it all comes from a sort of like a system whereby you're told if you're not good enough, then you don't deserve anything. You don't deserve anyone.
Right.
And this leads to a lot of frustrations. You're not allowed to innovate. You're not allowed to. You want to start a business.
Yeah.
One of the things that we're told as Africans is you have to have capital.
Mhm.
In the West, you don't need capital to start a business. You need an idea. And so for us, the colonization that has happened in our
Yeah.
minds is it has brought us down to a level whereby we don't see possibilities from when we start. And we have to, how do you catch favor so that you can actually have a podium where
Yeah.
you can actually express yourself or express your idea
Yeah.
or even express your project and actually make it happen. So it becomes very, very difficult. It's interesting that in countries, abroad,
Yeah.
By a certain age, you're given a credit card, and is it a credit or debit card? Credit card, right? There's a line of credit that
Yes.
is given to you,
Yeah.
and you have a certain amount of money that you can use to basically do anything. In Africa, you don't get that. So now you basically start from nothing. When you finish school, you literally start from nothing. So life for us, for Africans, looks to be a little bit more grim.
Okay.
It seems like as if there is no hope. So I think that's why maybe the political class is surprised when young people in this Gen Z process go like, hey, stop telling us about how you're going to give us jobs abroad. We
Yeah.
want those jobs here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's what the
Yeah.
president 2 weeks ago
Yes.
at the coast. He
Yes.
said every week 1,000 youths
Yes.
will be supposed to be taken to
Yeah.
foreign countries
Yeah.
to go and
Work
work
Don't
there.
want that.
1,000 youths every
and they can
week.
develop
We don't
our
want that.
country.
Yeah.
Maybe it was propaganda, but the
Yeah.
fact that he said that very
It's
audacious.
terrible.
That
Yeah.
can come from
I
him.
thought, wow,
Yeah. That's
that's a
actually,
lot.
That actually comes from the president of the country.
Mm.
So the question that I would ask myself in that situation is, why would I go to a place whereby I have to literally brave really pathetic weather? Honestly, that's just my idea of what winter is.
Yeah.
So this is beautiful.
Right.
Africa is so beautiful, and
Yeah.
we have so much resources. I think maybe we relax a little bit,
Okay.
but this is some sort of paradise. And I believe that with time, we'll be able to look at ourselves from the lenses of we are not bad, we just haven't started yet. And so I'm happy that finally there's a wave of decolonization that is already starting to begin from our minds, us seeing each other like, hey, this is my brother and sister.
Right.
The tribal boundaries have already started falling. With time, the regional
With
boundaries
this
are going to
generation,
fall.
yeah, we don't have that.
There's a push towards this very, very simple question.
Yeah.
Why can't I travel freely within Africa?
Yeah. People are talking about
yeah.
that.
Why do I
Conversations.
have to have a visa to go
Yeah.
to South Africa or whatever?
Tanzania,
Yeah.
Uganda.
Tanzania. Why do I need all that? I should be able to travel with my ID.
Yeah.
I've had the privilege of basically listening to a lot of communities,
Okay.
and one of the things that I learned is, you have certain languages that are spoken in multiple African countries, from like the east to the west.
A
Yes, even
lot.
to the south.
Crazy.
Yes, and I'm talking about native languages. Yes. So
Facts.
ideally, we are the same people. If we're able to open up bigger markets, Africa doesn't need much. We just need to open up to each other. That's
And
number one.
I think we also need good managers
Yes.
Yeah.
because we
Yes.
have corrupt managers.
Yes.
We have resources, minerals, everything that we need to basically have the best of the
Yes.
best.
But they don't want us to know about the minerals.
Thank you.
This country is so rich.
Even
but
like, right? Even like on a normal day when you're watching TV, listening, you don't hear people talking about minerals
No.
they don't.
or anything to do with government. They don't talk
No.
about minerals or
Like the other time,
this country has
the other time
this.
in
No.
Migori,
Yeah.
people were harvesting gold, but now they had to be.
Wow.
Yeah, they had to
Moved
be
away.
moved away so that
Which
they
guys
can
were
start
moved away?
extracting. Migori,
Yeah.
in Migori,
Mhm.
guys, was it near a market or something?
Okay.
They were extracting gold just near the road.
Are
but
they
once they discovered,
Kenyans?
Yeah.
yeah,
Are they Kenyans? Okay.
yeah. Migori is
Yeah, I know, but I was
Okay,
asking
so-
if the ones who are harvesting are
yeah, the
Kenyans.
locals were the locals.
Okay.
So they had to be pushed away from there so that now the tractors
No
and
way.
everything they can come. Yeah, anywhere we discover a mineral, that's it for us. And I believe we are very rich. We have this, but we haven't discovered where they are. Once they discover, they just go and enclose that place.
The government does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that they can be able to trade in with the foreign countries in regards
And this
to.
could be like a good opportunity. We have like
Yeah.
our own minerals. We maybe sell out there.
Yeah.
Then we develop our own country.
I agree,
Yeah.
but they're not thinking like that. And the fact that people are protesting against these leaders is because we're listening to Senator Onyonka a few days ago. He's talking about the fact that the system is so broken and corrupt.
Yeah.
We were using the same old system since Jomo Kenyatta that you mentioned, right? It's broken, it's corrupt, and the new leaders that we have right now, they're using the same
Same
system,
system.
which it can't work at all. It cannot work, and that's why we see the movement really pushing or protesting against this, because it can never work. And the fact that guys are woke, Kenya can never be the same again. You know,
Yeah.
these leaders just have to go. That's the only way they'll
Yeah.
go. And I like the way DJ Jeng said even last Friday when you were here, you were like, you know what? They'll just basically leave even without knowing how they did leave.
Yeah.
They won't even see it coming, you know? And I feel like right now in the morning, we read about the Kenyan vehicle Mobius motors.
Okay.
The business has been shut as shareholders endorse liquidation.
Yeah.
Can make our own cars, guys.
Yeah.
But the fact that someone gave a comment and they said, what if the government made a policy to buy Kenyan cars for public offices, right? What if Zakayo, that's the president, made a deliberate move to use Kenyan cars on his motorcade? What if the cabinet secretaries being vetted using Kenyan cars? What if we as Kenyan people actually decided to buy Kenya, build Kenyan stuff? What if our own celebrities bragged about buying Kenyan cars instead of imported ones? Why not? Because Mobius is just a very classy car. You've seen it.
Yeah.
But you know, if they can't tap out to imports and everything, where are they going to tap into their pockets? The only
so
thing is
true.
only about themselves. Why are we not supporting our own? We say buy Kenya, listen Kenya, do Kenyan, but we are not actually doing it. We're just saying it, but we're not embracing it. Because I believe there are great minds in this country that can develop things and can take things to a
It's
higher
so
level.
true.
But you don't want to embrace,
That kind of like broke my heart in the morning because Mobius is like a very amazing car. Actually, it's beautiful more than a Jeep, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And the fact that this, maybe the owner, maybe we're kind of like talking about this is when you're like, let's see some foreign person come and like, I want to buy that company. And they rebrand Mobius, you know, making it international. And then you'll see people buying it because they're like, it's international.
Yeah, it doesn't.
you can
You know,
trust
I-
foreigners.
Sometimes when I look at these things happening, you know, for example, the car age is changing. We've been used to internal combustion engines for almost a century. So basically, it's just cars that burn fuel. Now something else is happening. There is an influx of cars that are propelled from other sources of power. For example, electric cars, hydrogen.
That's
power.
not true. Wait.
Give his opinion. Hi, Keith, how are you doing?
Wait. Not opinion. Not opinion. Africans have got to learn. No. Electric cars not new. And with the electric cars they're producing now, it's actually garbage. You understand? The Africans know the combustion engine is out. But let me finish.
Okay.
The combustion engine is not something that they decided that they were going to it's something that they decided they were going to use because it was going to make them more money. Pull this up here, John, real quick. Say, go to Google, take images of electric cars of 100 years ago, over 100 years ago, that run better than electric cars today. See, most Africans don't have no information, even no history. So, you know, it's sad. Pull up images of electric cars over 100 years ago. The motor vehicle. Let me finish. The motor vehicle process didn't even start with the combustion engine. It started with water, vapor. That was an African American that developed that technology back in 1875. Patterson Company. So it only changed to oil because at that time you had the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds were creating oil companies. And so they wanted to make it run off of oil instead of cheaper, what he said, electricity. So you would see all these electric cars that were cheaper to run. Now they use lithium, which is dangerous, which is garbage. So they're trying to get the world to go now with lithium, which is absolutely worthless. Does not work. The Elon Musk, other systems are actually less efficient than the ones you had 100 years ago. See, once we think this is new technology, it's not. So you see the old electric cars that ran. You could drive those cars forever. They wouldn't use a lithium battery. They took them off the market here, Tom, because they were too good.
Right.
You couldn't make no money from them. You couldn't make because they didn't need to be recharged. They need charging stations. They didn't need, a charge could run the whole life of the car, 10, 20 years. Like, hey, we can't make no money out this shit. It's too good.
Right.
So what they do, they scrap technology that doesn't benefit their parasitical economic view. So everything today works worse than it did 150 years ago.
Okay.
But you never taught this. So these new systems we talking about electric cars, those electric cars are all garbage. It's because they're moving towards this Green New Deal bullshit. There's no global warming. That's some shit the cracker made up. Global warming and we must, that's the way they're trying to lock down the economy because the system of control is breaking down. So white people always create new systems of control and keeping the African ignorant. They don't understand that, oh yeah, it's global warming and we're going to do this, we're going to implement these. All you're doing is implementing policies that benefit their control again.
Okay.
Instead of stepping outside of their control. Because most people know the electric cars, goddamn, that technology is almost 200 years old. It's not new. As you see right there. And it runs better back then than it does now. You know, they say, oh, the electric car, that global warming and all that old dumb shit. It's a lie. You know, it's a system of control because they see a lot of Africans are starting to wake up. They need to lock down Africa for its minerals and its resources. So they have all these, you know, they have a dumbass Ruto, a dumbass Tinubu. Oh, we're going to introduce electric cars to save the environment and the windmills and solar panels and all that old shit. It's a lie. It's a scam. It's a scam. You've had clean energy, Ewoton, and free energy for over 100 years now. Every time they develop it, they would kill them because what? There was no money in it. So they never wanted to have the world progress. We have free energy. It means they lose control. So should nobody ever be sitting in no dark in Africa or even around the world because there's free energy devices that have been invented over 100 years ago as well. 100 years ago, you had free energy because energy comes out of something called the ether, and so they've taken that out of science. Most people ain't know what ether even is no more. That was part of your periodic table. So and if you go look at the Rockefeller, they took that out of science because ether means you would start learning how to create again free energy. They don't want you to have free energy because what? They get paid. Everything they do is parasitical. You must get paid to produce something. So free energy will allow you to now be free of this system. You know, if I can have lights and it's free all the time, shit, you can now live off grid. You don't need to be controlled by anybody. You're not paying a bill. You know, you're not paying what you got to your tokens and all this other dumb shit. They've had free energy devices here for over 100 years. That technology has existed. So why has it not been given out to the rest of the world? Every time a new inventor would bring it up, they would be murdered because they would overturn the power structure. It's like those electric cars that over 100 years ago. Why did they stop producing those? Because there was no money in it. They said, hey, we want these cars to be with oil and gas because we want consistent money from it. You got to keep on filling up the tank. So they come up with the new scam. Oh, you got to use power stations and buy this infrastructure from us. It's a scam because it been existed. You go back to the technology 100 years ago and build the cars off that technology, and you don't need no power station. But that means no one gets paid. Go ahead.
That's so true. Thank you guys for joining us on TikTok. Really appreciate you. Also on YouTube, I can see Jibber Jabber. How are you doing? He says the white man's eyes is not colder than the black man's eyes, i.e. putting a white face on a black idea. Also, he's saying, how are you going to have an electric car fleet when the grid is shit? That's what he's saying.
Yeah. So let me finish the point that I had about my train of thought. So my point was on this. First of all, I didn't say electric cars are actually new. It is true that when it comes to technology like this, these things have been there for quite a long time. And of course, this big oil decided that they want to sell it. And so marketing is about propaganda. So if you are the best propagandist, you can basically just get people to follow whatever you want, for whatever reasons you have. And most of it is just commercial. They want to make sure they're rich, and they become rich out of it, big time. But
Exactly.
times some of the things that we Africans have.
Yeah.
We have iron, we have rare earth minerals.
Yeah.
We basically can be able to build all these things by ourselves.
Right.
We have everything.
This is and one of the countries that really breaks my heart is the Republic of Congo.
Okay.
Congo.
Congo is so blessed with mineral resources, so much.
It's the
so
richest
that-
place on the planet.
Yes,
Right.
it's one of the richest countries when it comes to.
Not one of, is the richest.
Yes,
Yeah.
big time.
You know.
And every time you see anything about Congo, it's just war,
Yeah. Ever since.
starvation.
On purpose.
Sorry?
On poppers.
On purpose.
Yes, it is
On purpose,
Yes,
because
it is.
they need to keep Congo destabilized so they can steal. That's why Kagame was putting power in Rwanda. That's why Museveni was putting power in goddamn Uganda and kept there. You know, there's no such democracies in Africa. I need to steal those resources so I can keep Europe and Asia at the line of I guess development that they have now. So Congo has not been allowed to even have peace 500 years since the white man found it. So it's just been used as an extraction colony and to kill all the people around and to put puppets around them so to keep it destabilized so they can constantly keep stealing out of the Congo. So until Africa gets its shit together, sounds like keyword, until Africa gets its shit together, the Congo's always going to be preyed upon. So the Africans understand their unity, your power is in your unity, not your division. So once you start getting rid of your groupie tribalism and understand that you have enemies, that people are not your friends, they don't love you, they don't give a fuck about your worship of Jesus or Allah or none of that shit. They're there to prey upon you and your weakness. So when you start to understand that, come out of your slumber, you'll start taking back over Africa. Once you take back over Africa, you become the richest people on the planet because Africa is the richest continent on the hands. That's not even an argument. Once you take control of Africa, you can start developing Africa for your children and your grandchildren. That should be your number one goal.
Right.
Africa's got to belong to you,
But it's
unapologetically.
Yes. That's the truth.
But it's so funny how
Yeah.
our leaders will want that to happen. It's because it's like they're being held on ransom. Because when we use our minerals and we get rich, we won't be able to borrow from them. So
That's a
they have to
fact.
make everything look like we can't hack it.
And that's the narrative we've known since we were younger,
Yeah,
right?
because they want us to borrow from them, but we can create our own wealth. We can live by our own means if we really want it to work. But our leaders, they can't, because now they've been held in ransom.
And
Yeah.
to just make it even just a little bit more, even maybe I don't know how to say this, maybe even worse.
Okay.
So, you know, some of these things you don't really need an electrical engineering degree to fix.
Right.
Even these cars, these are things that you can actually just build. You've spoken about brands and
Yeah.
why we've been sort of mentally conditioned
Yeah.
to seem to like foreign brands
Yeah.
more than our own brands.
Uh-huh.
We sold a lie whereby we told German cars have better quality.
Right.
It's just a car. It's really not a big deal.
Right.
I mentioned about electric cars because electric cars have fewer moving parts. Actually, less parts
Okay.
to build. So it's
Yeah.
actually quite easy to build an electric car, and you can actually build it from scratch. There's a guy in Zimbabwe who built a technology whereby he's able to propel a vehicle.
Ewoton, are you hitting the mic or something?
No.
You hitting your mic?
Not at all.
Sorry.
Okay, well, it's like it's reverbing all in my ears. It's crazy.
This is the second time you're saying that.
I know, it's like
What about now?
I don't know. Is it vibrating on something? Good grief. What's going on? Yeah. Yeah, he's talking about the Zimbabwe gentleman. They poisoned his ass. They killed him.
Yeah, they killed him actually because he actually built a
Because
technology.
he was showing you he was building it without energy. He showed I don't need a power source. So they're gonna kill. I said when they came on YouTube with that shit, I said, son, don't come on the YouTube or announce it. They're gonna come see you. They're gonna kill you. You're destroying their fake economic system. So yeah, his brilliance. He created, he also created like an energy system from just he learned about, like I said, the ether. There's something called ether.
Okay.
Somehow, doing his African knowledge, he learned it. So he built the whole power station that ran off nothing, Ewoton.
Right.
Ran off nothing. It was free energy that could power a whole village.
Yeah.
And it worked from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? They had to kill him because that hurts the white man and his fake scams of control and superiority.
Right.
I knew when he came on YouTube with that shit, I said, this motherfucker's gonna be dead within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because you destroyed their economic system. And as I showed the video with Job and him yesterday, the white man's system is based off the theft of Africa, an African mind.
Right.
So his fake superiority comes with the rape of Africa. Since Africans are loving people and have been kept ignorant for 300 to 400 years,
Right.
they don't understand you're fucking with a predator.
Mm-hmm.
White man is a predator.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand that because you're giving your fake religion with your Jesus, loving this cracker who's vicious. So I knew that I feared for that young boy's safety because I knew they were going to come, they were going to murder his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because free energy in Zimbabwe, when we went throughout Africa, you got free energy. That means the lights stay on forever. You're not paying anybody. And there's no blackouts. And all this other dumb shit you got in Africa.
Right.
So this young man, I said, before you announce some shit, teach other children around you how to do it so they can't kill you.
So
teach them first before you announce it. Stop trying to be famous.
Yeah.
See, don't even worry about even making any money off the shit. Teach other children around you. If it works, start teaching them. Teach everybody in your village how to do it. Then go to the next village, teach them how to do it. Make sure that knowledge gets out there, not just you. Stop trying to, I'm going to keep, it's going to make me wealthy. No, it's not going to make you wealthy. It's going to make you dead. It's going to make you dead. So I said, oh man, they're going to come kill this kid.
Right.
Oh, he had an accident. He just died of strange causes. Because free energy upsets all their economic scams, their fake global warming, their fake ass, all the money they want to put, like you said, electric cars, all the fake shit they want to put into these fake solar panel shit. It gets rid of all. You don't need none of that shit. Because he learned how to tap into the ether. I don't know how this kid did that, but he did it.
Yeah.
Because understand, ether used to be taught 150 years ago as part of the periodic table. It's part of the unseen atmosphere. See, in the atmosphere around you, Ewoton, this energy, you just can't see it. I told you, there's an unseen world.
Okay.
So right in front of you, just in the square diameter space in front of you, is enough energy that can power all of Kenya for 1,000 years. Right in front of your face. You can't see it.
Right.
That's the ether. So it's etheric energy. So somehow this kid must have went back and learned old African shit. Because Africa knew all about this thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if he went to some village and some shaman taught his ass. But this kid learned how to tap into the ether and make a machine that drew energy from the ether. And white people came, wow, it works. It just generates energy. I said, motherfucker, they gonna kill his ass.
Right.
He don't care. They can't allow that out there because their system is based on parasitical stealing and grip and putting puppets in.
Yeah.
These puppets. There are no African leaders. I don't think you say African leader. Ruler was a puppet designed. They're all selected puppets.
Yeah.
So they're trying to stop that because that's the control of the planet through these companies that they've created over the last, what they call the Industrial Revolution. So we've never had any real technology, Ewoton.
Yeah.
Over the time. I know you might think your phone is technology. It's not. We've had no real technology. We've been in a technical stupor for 150 years. We've had no real advancement because real advancements change the power dynamics.
Right.
Like I told you, even though this kid figured out free energy had been figured out over 100 years ago. It's not allowed to come to the market because it destroys their power base. And like the gentleman said, they're money making. They've been making money off parasitical means. They don't give a fuck about freeing the population and what's right and what's justice.
Yeah. To the next question, Jay by saying, yes, I think back to the question, to the note that he said, yes, and not having a visa-free Africa puts up a barrier to education, innovation, and commerce. And also he says, when you control resources, you can dictate their terms. And then pull up Tesla and something power-free energy through
Tesla. Exactly. Tesla already created free energy back in 1898. He went to J.P. Morgan and said, hey, I've created free energy. J.P. Morgan said, motherfucker, I can't do nothing with that. What? You did what? I created free energy. This will help the world. J.P. Morgan told his ass, destroy that shit.
Right.
You out your mind? You what? I can't do nothing. And remember, Jibba Jab, when Tesla died, the government raided his house and stole all of his inventions. And that's what you're dealing with now with laser technology and all the technology. It's all secret now, but he developed that shit over 100 years ago.
Yeah.
He already developed free energy. He said that the Africans had already had free energy back in the days of Kemet and Nubia. He said all I did was go back into because he studied as a child in the Vatican catacombs when the fake ass church came to Africa, stealing all the papyrus, all the knowledge, and hid all that shit. Right? So Tesla told you as a child I studied all this knowledge coming from Africa. And then as I got older, I was able to implement it, take the practical that I learned, and put it into actual functional invention. So he admitted came from Africa. Africans don't know shit about their own history no more. The brilliance of Africa. They sit in these mosques and these churches talking stupid shit. So Tesla created free energy. Told it came from Africa. At least he admitted that, but it's no good ass. He admitted it came from Africa. And when he tried to give it to J.P. Morgan to understand the bankers who actually run the planet, he said, what am I supposed to do with this? He said, you're going to give it to the world. You're going to free up the world. Free energy. Everybody will have free energy. He said, I can't make no money with this shit.
Right.
I can't make no money with this shit every time. Free energy's been in existence every time. All this fake windmills and solar panels, all bullshit. So you're not supposed to know. See, look up Tesla. Say Tesla creates free energy. Tesla. Say Nikola. You only say Nikola. Just say Tesla creates free energy. And Google's gonna try to lie and say, oh, he almost came close. No, he created it. He created free energy over 100-some years ago. But they like, what?
Right.
I can't do nothing with this shit. Are you crazy? We can't give this to the people. He said, yeah, I want to give it to the people.
Right.
He said, nah, no you're not.
This is what it says. Tesla dreamed of creating a system of free energy accessible to everyone. And often
he dreamed. He did crazy. He did create it. Eric, go ahead.
Prioritize the welfare of humanity over personal interest.
Exactly.
Tesla believed that a vast amount of electrical energy is dispersed in the Earth's atmosphere, and that every
the ether. You gotta pause it. The atmosphere. So that's the ether. Every time. That's a fact. See, when you sitting there and all your guests are sitting there, there's energy right in front of their face. They can't see it. Yeah. It's the atmosphere. It's called the ether. Right. That little motherfucker in Zimbabwe figured it out. It started collecting energy from the ether. But go ahead.
That every household could use this energy in the future using an antenna. That's what it says.
Yeah. Yeah, come out the ether.
And there's a number of technologies that basically just almost like labeled almost towards this, whereby you can actually literally get something wireless.
Okay.
All these wireless things. Right now, you can beam internet wirelessly.
That's a fact.
Radio,
Exactly.
sound
Exactly.
waves,
So lithium. It's down sound. Exactly.
Yeah.
Waves.
sound waves.
Frequency.
Right now, we're living in a very interesting age because you can literally be very, very high speed internet
Yeah.
in space. These are things that are not really, there's really nothing so new about them.
Right.
What I look at them,
No,
when I see these
not.
things, it's about branding. Branding,
That's a fact.
branding, propaganda, business interests.
A lot of propaganda.
Yes. Now I think they have. It has to get to a time when now Africans will decide to become the sharks,
Yeah.
because for a long time we've been what? What does shark eat?
Little
Small fish?
fish.
I think it's time. It's time we deliberately
Yeah.
decide to become the sharks.
Everything that's happening right now.
Yes.
And also coming
Yes.
after you come to my question as you're talking, we have the likes of Casmural, right?
Yeah.
Also we see Hanifa,
Yeah.
we see the likes of Ewoton-Redefining, right? These are people who are like literally there. Boniface Monkey really gave a very heartbreaking message on Facebook. And the fact that right now the youths are basically fighting for what's right,
Yeah.
and basically to have Pan-Africanist leaders, right?
Mhm.
Do you believe? I believe there's change. It's happening. We cannot deny that. Do you have faith in the leaders who are going to like vie for that position coming in the coming years?
Like the new generation coming
Yes.
in. For me, it's if we continue this consistency,
Yeah, and the
if we
unity.
continue the unity, if
Yeah.
we continue the drive of what we want to achieve, at the end of it we'll achieve. Not like these previous leaders who are there just for their own opulence, for their greediness and everything. For us, it's pushing about the change. Like in Africa, the change in our country.
Yeah.
We want better things. We have been crying for so long.
Yeah.
And the moment we keep fighting that and use the right avenues,
Right.
we'll get where we are.
Right.
Because they're trying to look for who is leading these people.
So true.
Yeah, they want, once they know who like are leading this youth, they'll capture that person and try to intimidate
That's so
them
true.
like ever before. For this regime, it's leaderless, it's tribeless. Only the drive is what is making them go further
Yeah.
than what they want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before DJ Jan, you're saying anything, you can also see that in Nigeria they have like
Mhm.
500 tribes. Crazy, right?
Mhm.
And the fact that right now the protest is not even about is it Yoruba,
Yeah,
Igbo, they
yeah,
don't care
yeah,
about that.
yeah.
It's about #end bad governance.
Yeah.
So I believe it's happening. Not even it's possible, it is happening.
If we continue the same
Yeah.
things and if ourselves stick to it, get your vote on that 2027 day, you vote that person out, let's get the right people in.
Right.
Without, when we like eliminate the bad leaders and we are inside and keep the focus, let's not just go there and
Right.
forget about what drove us there.
Mhm.
Then we'll go further.
So
Yeah,
you
you
believe
can
we,
say like how-
we can have Pan-Africanist leaders.
Yes,
Okay.
I believe. It's time.
I mean, how else? Imagine a world like this. If I wanted to, what? If I wanted to get cement for my factory,
Yeah.
all I have to do is just go to Tororo in Uganda.
Yeah.
If I wanted to get what? Gold, for, to make jewelry and all that,
Mhm.
I just have to step down to South
Yeah.
Africa or Namibia. If I want oil,
Mhm.
I just have to go to Nigeria.
Right.
I mean, why Kenyans? Why do we buy oil from Saudi Arabia? There's
Why?
oil. There's oil in Nigeria.
Yeah. A lot. And
There's
they're
a
not
lot of oil in
benefiting from
Libya.
it.
Yes,
They're actually
what happened
complaining.
to our oil in Turkana?
I have no idea.
Right.
We discovered oil in
discovered
Turkana.
oil.
We started drilling, but that was it. What happened to our oil?
Who knows?
That case was closed because we don't
Was it
even talk about
harvested
it.
and
It's the
sold?
fact that you've said we don't hear on the news or any media source the fact they talk about minerals. This country has this. We don't hear anything about
No,
that.
it's even worse. It's even worse when we're getting education.
Yeah.
Our education system is just
Crap.
useless. Let me okay. This is coming from somebody who's an academician like
Okay.
myself. When I look back at I studied the past exams. Do
Okay.
you know the most important part of that entire education system? Just memory.
Okay.
See
We don't
how-
have the skill.
yeah,
skills.
just memorizing stuff. This
Fact.
is when I looked at, I would ask myself, wait, how did I pass this exam? I can simply remember what I was taught in class. That's
Right.
it. Now, so I imagined this to myself, and that's why maybe I think also education is a very, very important factor.
It is.
Whoever is teaching me these things, these ideas are from when? Because whatever concept I'm being taught is maybe 10-year, 20-year, 30-year concepts.
Okay.
Even in science,
Right.
nothing new. When people in other places are being taught how to create, we're being taught how to
Thank
maintain.
you. Create. Yeah.
We never taught how to create. In fact, if your mathematics teacher came up with this formula, I guess you an answer on the blackboard in an African school, and you decided to come up with your own formula,
Yeah.
you might just be in trouble.
That's so true.
For the simple fact that
And
why?
it gets the same answer
Yes.
with different formula though. Yeah.
Yes. And even if you dispute the mathematics as it is, you still actually get in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
I would get a wrong answer simply because I am disputing what's on the board. But you see how societies move forward, how talents get, new things come into play,
Yeah.
is because people would be allowed to think freely.
Facts.
We're not allowed to think freely. Why is it that 2 plus 2
Exactly.
is 4, and 2 plus 2 just has to be 4? 2 plus 2 could be something else. You can play around with mathematics and come up with formulas that have never been had before.
Right.
And I think education is something that we need to revolutionize. Kenya is trying a
I
little
love you
bit.
talking about that.
We're trying a little bit with CBC,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I'm liking the
Yeah.
CBC.
Okay.
Yeah, because
You've gone through it?
No.
Not
I've
you've gone
I
through it,
don't
like
think
you've checked it
I haven't
out.
gone
Yeah,
through
check it
it,
out.
but
Yeah.
I'm embracing it
Okay.
through a young one.
Okay, so
Because
you checked it out.
they get to exploit themselves, they
Yeah.
get to innovate things. I think if we revamp CBC and maintain it, yeah, it's skills oriented, not like how we used to do it in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
if
for
you
me-
discover a skill in a kid, maybe like music,
Yeah.
you can get them in line with that. You sharpen their skills,
new system
maybe they can do
Yeah.
that.
In
Yes,
education.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
good.
think that's beautiful because
Yeah.
now I don't have to worry about that. All I have to be is really just be good in memorizing historical concepts only.
Yeah.
Why should I be limited to that? Why can't I create history?
Why do I have to know Vasco da Gama?
Yeah,
Yes,
who is
about Vasco
Vasco
da
da Gama? I know.
Yeah. So we have an education. We came from an education system that prioritized memory over skill, prioritized memory over ideas.
Yeah.
We came from an education system whereby if you do something, you get less marks for being wrong.
Yeah.
But ideally, if you ask any typical inventor, how many times does an inventor get it wrong before they get it right?
OMG. Yeah.
So in that system, we're discouraged from being wrong.
Or in this system, we are channeled to have the same results.
Yes.
That's obviously.
We can't turn off the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you have guys who are coming out of universities. They don't know how to create jobs.
Yeah. They want to.
Yes, I went and studied law
Yeah.
at the university in Kenya.
Yeah.
There's nothing about entrepreneurship that you're taught. So you don't know how to make money as a lawyer. You have to go and work at a law firm.
Right.
Why do I have to do that? If I know the law, I can make money from it.
Yeah.
And that is the same thing with engineers, doctors.
Yeah.
You're taught how to go to a hospital. Nobody tells you can build your own hospital and start a clinic and just
Yeah,
go.
you're never
That's
told
where
that.
financial literacy comes on board. We need to
So-
work on that. Financial literacy.
Our
Yeah.
education system is just off. And I do believe
That's on purpose.
there's hope. Yeah.
That's on purpose. Understand, all African systems are designed like that. And it's to make sure you stay ignorant, to make sure you stay impoverished, to make sure you're easy to be controlled. See, with less education, you're easy to control. It's easy to control an ignorant, scared population. You know, I can control you because you're ignorant and you're scared of everything. You don't even know how the world works. So you're apt to shut up. You're not gonna be protesting me in the streets because I'm stealing all your goddamn shit. Right? Because you don't know what's actually going on.
Yeah.
You're just impoverished, and you know you're gonna stay out my hair as I sell the whole country to nefarious individuals. So it's not like it's an accident that when all these African countries supposedly got this fake independence, with these corrupt bastards, right?
Yeah.
That the educational system was never changed from the colonial one.
Mm-hmm.
It was maintained, right? If you got independence, first thing you would have said, I must educate my people. I want to have strong minds. So I must start with the youth. That would have been your first order of business, because it's the youth that propelled a country into riches.
Yeah.
Because you would have introduced R&D, research, and technology. You would have thought all that religious shit gotta go. That's out of every school. You wouldn't study that shit. You study that shit at home. But real science, real education would have been your format, because those kids, within time they grow up, they would change your society, because those children's minds are like sponges. So they would have been your new development, your new inventions, your new everything. In the span of 20 years, a child will redesign its civilization if it's given the tools.
Yeah.
Africa's made sure it was never given the tools, because the Europeans always wanted to control Africa, because that's where the wealth is at.
Mm.
They created their empires. So this system of control was never meant to be changed or challenged.
Mm-hmm.
But them not understanding African science is like the ether, that you can't keep the richest people on the planet. Yes, the Africans, the richest people on the planet, impoverished artificially in perpetuity. That's not going to work. That's not seasonal. It's not going to happen. Eventually there's going to be a spark. There's going to be an awakening. That's the nature of nature.
Yeah.
You can't keep a rich people poor in perpetuity falsely. Because before the Europeans came, Africans were always considered the richest people on the planet.
Right.
Now, they not taught you that through your fake history. Maybe you learned it somewhere else. Africans have always been the wealthiest people on the planet. That's why you kept getting invaded. Well, you got white Arabs up in the northern part of Africa who stole that land, and northeastern Africa, what they renamed the Middle East. No fucking such place. Abu Dhabi, Dubai, that's Northeast Africa. Those are African lands that were stolen from you 1,000 years ago. Okay? Those are your lands. Not Iraq, Syria, that's all Africa. No fucking such place as no Middle East. Middle from what? Middle from the north? Middle from south? Middle from west? That's some shit they made up. That's Northeast Africa.
Right.
Sits on the African plate. Those were African empires that got toppled, and these invaders came in and stole that land.
Yeah.
But you understanding who you are and coming back into yourself is dangerous for the world.
Yeah.
Because once you take back Africa, you become the power. Whoever controls Africa controls the world.
Yeah.
They know that.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. Whoever controls Africa controls the world. That's always been the fact.
And
Go ahead,
this fight over control. I think maybe it's time we start going to Europe and discovering the way they come to Africa and
That is
say,
where we take over.
yeah, like
Yeah, they did. They discovered shit.
discover Lake Victoria, and then you name it Lake Victoria. Why are you discovering? There
Right.
were people there. They knew this thing was here. So why? I think I need to go to London and discover Hitler.
Right.
And name it JKIA. Just for the fun of it.
Yeah. You mentioned Vasco da Gama. Do you remember Vasco da Gama?
That was in history in Mombasa.
Yeah.
Oh, you
But
remember
Yeah,
actually.
because you had
Yeah.
to visit there sometime back. You were like, why
There's
am
an
I
entire-
doing this?
There's an
How
entire
will I
lake
use this?
Right.
by some whatever explorer who came from where
Yeah.
and discovered Mombasa.
Wow.
You couldn't,
That makes sense.
you couldn't discover Mombasa because you got. Look this up. Put this up here, Tom, real quick. This how crazy.
Yeah, it is useless.
I the lies they taught African people. Put us up images. Here, Tom, for me. Say
And that is what we
images of the Swahili kingdom.
It's
cool.
called, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm agitating for changing our education system.
Me
Somebody is telling me as a young child that my country was discovered by some explorer. Is it
From
Vasco da
Portugal.
Gama? From where?
Yeah.
Another guy called
Portugal.
So
Portugal.
many.
Yeah, it's Watford. You see?
It's a
We
lie.
hold them in honor
Yes.
and
So
glory.
it
You know.
goes back to your initial topic. The decolonization of our minds. I think
Yeah.
we started by first, colonizing people's, telling you you're nothing. Everything
Correct.
that you have that
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
it's from elsewhere. I don't see that. Now it's a little bit interesting that we've been eating food.
Okay.
Food is another thing, by the way. This topic is so
Wait a
wide.
minute.
It is a word topic.
This topic is so wide.
Yeah.
Even colonized food. You know that?
Give me images of the Swahili kingdom.
Yeah.
That's
So,
right.
so the kingdoms existed before this Pascal Kagame, whatever this cracker name was supposedly discovered Mombasa. There were cities already in Mombasa. There was these are kingdoms. So how you discovered someone else's kingdom? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's absolutely absurd. See those they had houses, they was a kingdom. So how you going to my kingdom and saying you discovered me? And you sound crazy, but you're dealing with a you don't understand that white people are psychopaths.
Right.
Their society, they've been diagnosed. It's not Keith. This is not Keith saying that. This is the diagnosis of
They're
many
being
psychologists that white people. They've been diagnosed as psychopaths. Their society, their civilization, they're psychopaths. They'll take your history, like you said, rename it there, steal your shit, call you them. So they've been diagnosed, their civilization has been diagnosed as psychopathic.
Right.
Now, you've been around white people, they're psychopaths.
Right.
You see, like you're showing that. That's a civilization that exists. How am I going to go to here trying to say, I discovered that? And there's houses and
So beautiful.
there's goddamn houses and fucking palaces. How the fuck am I discovering somebody else's palace? I'm a psychopath.
That architecture from the Kenyan coast,
Yeah.
the Tanzanian coast.
Yeah.
These guys were building beautiful houses.
Yeah.
Beautiful houses.
Beautiful houses. These guys, I don't know what's wrong with them. So you come to Africa and you study the pyramids.
Okay.
Oh. Then you go back to your land and make skyscrapers. Then you call yourself an architect.
So they basically they actually learned everything from
How
us.
to place stone on each other.
Yeah, everything. And the fact that right now another question, which I'm really kind of like clapping for Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso.
Yeah,
He said there's not going to be exporting of gold to these foreign countries ever again. He's going to use that to basically develop his
And to
country.
back up the country's currency.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you actually get real value.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I would want.
That's why they're trying to kill us. That's why they're trying to assassinate his ass.
Yeah.
They might, I'm also afraid, they might.
I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, the guy, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Like,
Okay.
we have to get to a point where now we're shocked. Look at that guy.
Look at that
Traore is
guy.
crazy. He's a shark. He's like, hey, you know what, you guys, I'm kicking you out of all these military bases. If America, Europe, and the rest of these European countries want their bases in Africa, then then we should have a Kenyan base in
A base in their country. You goddamn right. How the hell you got a base? Why they got a base in your country? You got no base in their country.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Why do you come put your military in my backyard?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be mutual. I need to put also my military in your
That's
backyard.
right.
How about that? Now we're equals.
Right.
So the only way you get that is if you become a shark. And becoming a shark is something that is that could be painful for a lot of reasons.
Okay.
You wanna behave like somebody who they don't understand. So you have to be extremely complicated and extremely simple at the same time. What are the challenges facing Africa? Traore is trying to make sure that he can actually solve them.
Yeah.
People want food. Get them tractors. Let them till the land.
Yeah.
The weather is fantastic. There is good rainfall. This soil is actually fertile. So you don't have to use too much of these artificial fertilizers, and that's why I mentioned a little bit about colonizing. This entire topic was started from colonizing the mind.
Yeah, that's the truth.
But these guys have went a step further. Now they colonized food. So now you have these things called what? Genetically modified foods that are basically made in the lab.
Right.
It's not food.
What is
That's
it?
no nutrition value because you're dealing with people Well, not people. That's another story. I'm not giving that. But
How do you
yeah.
poison an entire population simply because you want money? You want to become a billionaire, so you put chemicals together and feed it to people.
It's called power. That's what they want.
Then maybe we need to get
Power
power.
and greed.
Mhm.
They want all to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only time you can stand up to a tyrant is if you become a tyrant by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I think Africa needs to become a tyrant, and that's
Yeah.
why
Africans gotta have power. Yeah, you got exactly. You got to smack a motherfucker in the mouth unapologetically. Africans can always be I know I'm your friend. I'm a good African. Got to say fuck all that.
Mhm.
God damn it. I gotta have control of my own resources, and you gotta be unapologetic about it. You know, like you said, I don't think you gotta be a tyrant, but you gotta have power. I don't think you gotta be a tyrant about it, but you gotta know, yes, these people are your enemy.
Yeah.
Whether you want to love everybody, we didn't make them our enemy, but they've always been our enemy. They never, Africans don't want to be nobody's enemy. But since you sit on the richest continent on the planet, people want that, and they want to make sure you get nothing. The African wanted to share. Let's share. Everybody said, "Nah, fuck all that sharing shit. We want it all.
Right.
We want all of it. We don't want to share shit with you niggas. We want all of it." So that, they're like, what? You don't want to share? No. We want the power and all of it. We want to dominate, control. So that all the Africans start to understand that, he can stop their control and dominate and control them. I don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah.
But we must control and dominate our own resources. That's all. Once we do that, then they'll go away. They'll go back in the same poverty they've always been. Europe has always been poor and fucked up and backwards and illiterate. That's their true history. Not that bullshit they wrote, we came to Africa and found shit and we're the explorers. That's all bullshit. These crackers are always poor, fucked up, illiterate, backward. Only till they get in contact with African people, they get raised in consciousness and in wealth. All their wealth derives from Africa. That's just a fact. And that relationship, no matter what changes in the world, they want to make sure that relationship never changes. That's their paramount relationship. To make sure they keep Africans subjugated and ignorant so they can extract the wealth out of Africa to keep themselves living in a high level of civilization.
Right.
They never had any fucking civilization. That's all made up. These motherfuckers were going extinct. Before they got out of Europe, they were going extinct. Their cities were full of shit, piss, fucked up, dying. So it's only when they got civilized by the Africans. Because they're psychopaths and savages by nature. That's the nature. A dog is going to be a dog. Europeans are going to be savage, and so the Africans say, oh, this is another human. He's just white. They're just like me. Nah, they're not like you.
Right.
You found that out. They're not like you.
Right.
They're savage.
I want to play that video in regards to what you said. Like Africans really need to take their power back and just take it without even asking for it, right? I want to share a short video. I think I've shared this with you.
Power is taking it. Every time not giving it.
those leaders
Power
and
is
those
taking it.
So this is an American politician talking the fact that, you know what, they need to come and basically show Africans who they are. Because I think it was in the war in regards to Niger and the minerals and everything to do with that. And he was basically giving his speech in regards to the fact that we should humble ourselves and let them actually be in control. Yeah.
What the target package looks like. Troops day with the water and the medicine and the food our troops need, that they will have a full fighter pilot escort there. And if the Nigerian government or any other third world thug tries to even turn on their air defense.
Third. Did you hear that? Okay, I'll play it again.
This don't work out.
You know what a real U.S. president would do? Say that C-130s are on their way to Niger today with the water and the medicine and the food our troops need, that they will have a full fighter pilot escort there. And if the Nigerian government or any other third world thug tries to even turn on their air defense systems, we should show those leaders and those thugs what the target package looks like on their houses and their family members, because it should not be Americans that are suffering because President Biden and Blinken are so embarrassed that their strategy in Africa failed that they're willing to let Americans' conditions deteriorate.
U.S. politician Matt Gaetz is back again with his...
I think I have something to say about that. So first
That's
of all,
what he said.
Yeah. So first of all, so you wanna come with your fighter jets to basically show us what you made of. Why don't you take your troops and go back to your land?
And first of all, it's
Show
because
yourself.
of the leadership of Ibrahim Traore.
The land don't have nothing. They don't.
Yeah.
The land don't have. They don't want to go back.
Yeah.
What is wrong with where they come from? If it's so perfect, why do they want to leave?
Right.
What is so pathetic about the land that they have to come to a land that this Africa that they call arid, semi-arid?
But it said something
desolate.
which kind of makes sense. He says America will suffer,
They do
right?
suffer.
Yeah, because if we do not allow them to be here,
But what are they suffering? Embarrassment.
they're not going to be as much wealthy as they are right now.
Then let them create the
No, I
wealth.
don't really care about that. I'm just kind of like expounding what he's saying. Yeah.
So I find them when I hear something like this being spoken.
We talking like a nice African again. Why are they here? Because they're there for dominant. What do you mean why they're there? They're there because you got minerals. I'm gonna dominate it. And I'm stealing it. I'm not there to be your fucking friend.
And that's why he's talking like this. Like, what? The strategy of why they didn't work in Africa, and you can see Ibrahim Traore getting back his power, trying to bring back, Faso to the land it's supposed to be. And beautiful thing about that, he's basically come together with Mali and Niger, which we have to come together as all African countries.
I think if I was the president of a country like that, where basically people from another land, another continent, want to decide how we live in our land, I think there's a time now. It is.
And he's in the States
It will be
talking
time.
about this.
Yes, it will be time for us to now build and take up arms.
They do decide. Why you think you got an English and an American base in Kenya? What do you think that's about? You think that that'll be your fucking friend?
Yeah. So I think it is time. What did these people do that is so flawless for them to be able to take power?
You should ask
Guns,
them more
violence.
questions, actually.
They're savages. You think violence, right? Violence, savage,
Violence.
savagery.
So
Exactly.
the only
Savagery.
language, I think the only language they understand is violence. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about
Some
that?
actually said
Yeah.
that. It's true, that's the only language they understand.
And the only way
Yeah.
you can stop a bully, I think I said almost something similar
Yeah.
earlier. The only way you can stop a bully is to become a bully yourself.
Yeah.
What are guns made of? Metal, right?
I guess.
All guns are made out of the minerals you got in your country. You ain't because your educational system is too much praying in the Bible and the Quran. You haven't developed
Right.
to build weapons that you need.
I think we should start teaching.
That's why they say you're childlike.
I think we should start teaching kids in school how to make guns.
Yeah. How about that? You should have been did that shit.
How about that?
So
You should have been did that shit. And it's not hard to make weapons. It's actually easy. So he's right. You can teach the children, and you can develop weapons to actually defend yourself, because you're human beings, against people who are savages who want to steal all your shit. You should have been did that. If you're the leader, not a puppet, you would have been did that. They goddamn, we gotta build real weapons, not the bullshit we getting from them. We gotta build our own shit. And then again, we gotta educate our youth in research and development.
Yeah.
Because in 20 years, you imagine the weapons an educated young African can think of. Get that kid in Zimbabwe, a bunch of African kids. You shouldn't be so space-aged and fucking these crackers up, but you gotta do it. You can't say, oh, and Jesus said, turn the other cheek. Fuck Jesus. Jesus ain't saving you from this cracker talking about bringing his planes in there and shooting your ass. Shit.
It's so true.
I guess
As we
that
wind up,
that is the same scenario that the families from Samburu and those areas try to safeguard like their own cattle. You'll get even the small kids, they know how to use the gun. It's not just because the parent want to teach the kid to use the gun. It's for defense mechanism. When they come to take our cattle, we have no one to fight for us. We have told the government they're not putting any policy. So what do? We have to attack to defend ourselves.
right.
So I think we'll have to be Taliban for us to move further.
There is an African country that went
Okay.
that went into war, fought against a European country and actually won.
That was Angola. Joe, that was Angola.
Okay.
Angola won the secret war. Angola won that war against South Africa.
Right.
Crazy, right?
It's the European power.
Yeah.
It's
And,
Angola.
And
So
there's also something called the Battle of Adowa, which was that was Ethiopians
Okay.
fighting against Italians,
Okay.
and they kicked Italians in Africa.
Right.
Ideally, Ethiopia is maybe the only African country that has never been colonized. They were violent enough.
Right.
that's
We
a
should start
lie.
building. We need to start building.
As we wind up, kids.
We need to start building.
That's a lie. They keep telling you that Ethiopia wasn't colonized. It was. That's a lie. And it wasn't called Ethiopia. They changed the name. The Europeans even changed that name because they were trying to make that biblical shit. It was called Abyssinia. Ethiopia changed its name in 1930. Look that up for me, Ewoton. I say, when did Abyssinia change its name to Ethiopia? Or just say, when did Ethiopia change its name? I think it was 1930, whatever. Anyway, the Italians go back in and colonize the motherfucking place.
Also pull up the
Let me say,
Adowa.
the Europeans go back in and colonize it, and their leader, Haile Selassie, this cowardly ass bastard, he leaves. So, understand when they went into Ethiopia, Abyssinia, they told these niggas that they weren't even African. Not the mixed ones you got today, because back then, most of Abyssinia was still black African. Now they're all mixed. The motherfuckers you see they show now, those are mixed. Those are not original Africans, no Ethiopia. Those are mixed motherfuckers with crackers. But the original Ethiopian, so what was it, 1935?
1945.
Yeah, okay, so that was after they lost the war. The European, because Italy came back in and portioned off Ethiopia and made Eritrea and Djibouti. They portioned off that land. And so, because if you know about Eritrea, most of them motherfuckers speak Italian today and their language. Because they was colonized. They broke Ethiopia up. So,
Pull up the
that time, at that time you had, you got Emperor Menelik, who was fighting the Europeans. They told his granddad that they were also Europeans because they were trying to establish that Bible shit.
Alright, guys, as we wind up, our last
Philip
anything
who?
wind up the Battle of the Door.
There's,
Is that it?
what does it say?
I hope I got the right thing. Okay, it says the Battle of, is it Adwa?
Adowa. A-D-O-W-A.
I'm not finding that.
Interesting.
he's about the battle with King Menelik. That was 1890
6?
to 96, yeah. So they won that battle, but then the Italians came back and colonized their ass anyway. So they won that battle. So they were non-colonized for a few years. Italians came back and took the shit back over in the 1920s anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So
I told you.
my point on that was as simple as this.
Okay.
These guys, they are humans like any other person.
Yeah.
They bleed.
Right.
That's right.
So we can win.
Yeah. It says a well-disciplined and merciful Ethiopian army did the unthinkable. It routed an invading Italian force and brought Italy's war of conquest in Africa to an end. I can see Jibba Jabber. Thank you so much for joining. You say, okay. The white man only respects a man, fights him, and only understands violence.
Exactly, power. Exactly. I'm saying power. Their nature, exactly. Africans gotta stand the nature of white people. They don't respect you when you don't fight.
That's what
Have
it
you?
says.
Like that? They don't respect you when you don't fight them.
Right.
They only respect people they fight. Even if they beat you,
Yeah.
they say, well, goddamn, this motherfucker put up a good fight. They call the African the woman of the men on the planet. The African man is the woman of the planet. He don't fight, he's weak, he's fucked up. So they classify us as the woman of the planet. Because a white man can smack you in the mouth and you'll turn the other cheek and then smack you in the other one. So they don't respect you unless you fight. That's because they're savages. They say they don't respect you. It's hard to judge Joe Brown told me that too. That they don't respect you when you don't fight.
Right.
That's right. They don't respect you. They call you a coward.
Right. He also says, be iron and selfish like the Mzungu. He also says, you hold the cards. And also he's saying, Jesus said, get a sword. Well, you all taught that in the church. And so he's saying, go along, Ewoton. Is Joby flashing the lights? Well, and then he's saying, hey, how about the female Kenyan and Ethiopian runners bumping and grinding in the Olympics? Alrighty, Tuber Devils, thank you so much for joining us here in Let's Talk with Ewoton. It's all about redefining the Africans. Alrighty, let's go ahead and your last take as we wind up here.
Yeah. So my last take is I believe in Africa. I believe in Africans.
Yeah.
I believe in ourselves. I believe that we can be able to solve the problems that bedevil our populace. And I believe that if we really decided, and I'm happy that a speck of that is already starting with what is happening right now in Africa. I believe that if we kept the sort of like the fight going, at some point it's going to make some real change. And I believe in Africa.
It is.
Yeah, so that's just what I'll say. The last item I would say is, of course, I'm very, very happy to be here at Blackwood Fire Radio and Blackwood Fire Network. You guys are always a vibe. Thank you, Ewoton, for inviting me and my colleague, Jackie. So it's a blessing to be here. I think probably next time we're gonna be doing a lot of music. Maybe you can see the DJ side of it.
Yeah, you can come in the morning, yeah? The Vibes Show.
Yeah, so we'll see about that.
Yeah.
There is a number of things that we're doing,
Okay.
a number of projects we're doing. So I think we'll see what we can do.
Yeah. Always appreciating your own time to be here on TikTok. Always just being active. Thank you for supporting us and availing yourself here anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My parting shot will be, the battle is in the mind.
Okay.
What you think is what you become.
Exactly.
I believe you are capable. I believe we are rich. If we push, if we be consistent, and if we know what we want, we'll be where we want to be.
Right.
So it's for us to stand up and fight for our own countries, and we'll get to where we'll be. It's time for these oppressors to just leave us. We need to stand up for ourselves, and we'll do great things.
It's so true. There's a project tomorrow happening.
Yeah.
What is that about? Because you've said it like in a
I understand. I don't know who said on the 8th. There might be a shaman over there, but the 8th of August is also a very spiritual time.
Oh.
In Africa. Yeah. It's the Lion's Gate. Look that up here, Todd.
Okay.
Look up the Lion's Gate. So this is all known. This has been known through ancient African spiritual systems going back millions of years. The 8th of August is a portal when the alignment of Sirius B aligns up with the planet. And as you don't know, black people come from Sirius B. We come from space. Our DNA comes from off planet. That's a whole nother thing you guys are not ready for. That's too much knowledge that'll fuck you up. So Africans come from Sirius B. We are extraterrestrials to the planet. So we come from a different star system. So that's when Sirius B is now connected to the Earth and opens up a vortex, a portal, a vortex. So that's the time you want to say the Lion's Gate portal. So this is the time you want to stop and manifest what you want, because the energies are higher at this period of time. See, the universe is all based on waves, on ether, on wave frequency. So at this time, the frequency tomorrow will be higher. I don't know who set that shit up in Kenya, but somebody knew something. Somebody knew something. Somebody knew something because that's the Lion's Gate.
Yeah.
And so, the time when you're closer to the creator of the universe, you can manifest things
Yeah.
when you sit and meditate and call out to the universal creator.
It
So,
says the peak of the
what's that?
Lionsgate portal. The peak of the Lionsgate portal on August 8th has great
That's right.
significance in astrology. According to Stardust, at this time the star Sirius is shining bright in the sky,
right, no,
making
serious.
it an extremely lucky time to make dreams come true.
I told you, our sun, live in a binary star. This is all ancient African shit I'm giving you, learn your, don't. Our sun is attached to Sirius. We live in a binary star system.
Yeah.
We don't have a one sun system. We live in a two sun system. Our sun is in Sirius. Our sun is attached to a bigger sun. It's Sirius. So at that time they link up and portals open up. So this is a spiritual portal that the Africans knew going back thousands of years.
Right.
So this is all African science. So I don't know who did this in Kenya, but the motherfucker knew what they were doing. I don't know who
Right.
did it. But you better believe, whoever planned this knew about the Lion's Gate.
Yeah.
And this way before your goofy Islam and Christianity bullshit. This way before that. So this is actually ancient African science, African spiritual system. So yeah, Lion's Gate is the time you want to get down, write your stuff, what you want to manifest to happen. You write that shit down, and you project it to the universe. Everything is ether. Everything is waveform.
Yeah.
Your thoughts are waves of light.
Right.
So, shout out to the Kenyans, goddamn. Lionsgate, get down.
Yeah. Tiba saying Lionsgate Film Studio. See, they know. Or-
Exactly. Hey, well, exactly. When they created Lionsgate, I said, "There's no good dirty cracker. He know what the fuck he doing. They know all our signs. They stole it all. They do it, and then tell the Africans it's witchcraft. You're out your fucking mind. That's how the universe really works. It's science, not witchcraft.
Alright.
Now, if you see some goofy nigga in the village cutting on chickens, hopping up and down, that's just goofy nigga shit. That's what you call witchcraft and dumb shit. But science is real. You're not doing any witch doctors.
Right.
All that shit the white man called that shit. It's science.
Alright.
It works in nature.
Okay.
Right.
That's your last take as we wind up? Keith?
Oh yeah, I forgot, because yeah, when the cracker named that film company Lionsgate, I knew it. I was like, you no good dirty cracker. God damn. These motherfuckers be knowing. They know all right, just like Tesla. I learned free energy from studying African shit.
Alright.
Yeah. And he said, hey, can we use this? I want to help the world. They said, nah, motherfucker, ain't no helping the world.
Right.
No.
Alright, guys.
And just to say,
Okay.
so tomorrow's demonstration will be different. By the way.
Okay.
Yeah. You might see guys on the street for a couple of days.
Okay.
Watch out for that.
Alright, that has been it with me here on Let's Talk with Ewoton. Thank you guys so much for joining me live on YouTube, TikTok, on StreamYard, and basically all the social. Remember to always follow us on other
Stay
social
safe out
media.
there, African people. Stay safe. But understand,
Thank you.
price of freedom is death.
I'm doing a last take.
Stay safe.
Just
Stay
cut it
safe.
off. Alright guys, thank you so much again for joining us here on Let's Talk with Ewoton. The topic was redefining Africans with my amazing panel, DJ Jen and Jackie.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, and always thank you guys on TikTok. I know see or basically read the comments out, but thank you so much for following us. We're gonna be back in a few with Tubonge, but you're saying something, Jackie.
Oh, what I was saying for Nanane tomorrow, whatever they are pushing is, they are saying we are against bad governance, opulence by those in leadership positions,
Right.
incompetence, corruption, unemployment, high cost of living, greed by members of parliament, and the president's pathological lies.
Oh,
Now remember, Bangladesh said they got inspired by Kenya.
Yeah.
They overthrew their government. They overthrew their ass.
Right.
And thousands died. Yeah, thousands did. They said, fuck it.
Right.
We want you out of here. And they overthrew the government. They overthrew that government. Much love.
Much love, guys. See you on Friday and Let's Talk with Ewoton. Take care. Much love. Spread love and kindness. Let it confide and remember, you are the change you need to see in the world. Bye. Thank you guys for coming.